What's up, everybody? It's your host, Vendetta40, watching the Mess and Socks YouTube channel, and it's been a while since I actually used that intro, but today we're playing some Warframe, and I'm showing you how to steal Essence Farm on Sabotage, and this is effectively the best way to steal Essence Farm. I can't think of a better way to do it that isn't abusing certain bugs of the game. This is very much abusing certain spawn mechanics, but it is not abusing any bugs. We're going to want a coro, and for the build, something like this works. You really don't need magpull, you don't need any subsumed abilities, all you need is a base coro and as much duration and efficiency as you can get. And other than that, if you can get arcane resistance and maybe a vitality into the build, it's just going to help surviving the occasional when you're moving from point to point. Otherwise, you want a melee weapon with range, like either a gunblade or a glaive, and basically you want it to deal as much damage as possible. If you don't have a slash melee, you want it to be corrosive. And otherwise, yeah, I've just got a nice glaive, so it does the job good. Focus doesn't matter. Veneri, just make sure it has no damage dealing and no survivability on it. And then cat, make sure you got charm in the first slot and tech hands in the second slot, and then after that, just survivability mods. Again, no damage dealing. One thing you need to do is make sure that you're not dealing too much damage. So then we're gonna head to the map, and we're gonna go to Demos, Orbital, and Sabotage. Steel Path. Make sure you have, your resource booster. And
your weapons make music, and the enemy calls for a song.
So you can never use the
tile
you
there
spawn
are
in,
enemy
just because
supply
it kind of
caches
fucks
in
with
the
the spawn
area,
systems.
but I am unable to pinpoint
this
their
is the
exact
room we're
location.
actually looking for.
Search them out
And
if you are willing to shoulder the added risk.
Crate here. This is the room we're looking for. But because it's attached to the spawn tile, we can't really use it. So, but I don't plan to do around here. I'm
You
just showing
found
you
the
how to
first
do it.
resource cache. I'm detecting two more
Basically,
faint
all we
hints.
do is we net right here, and then we stand right here.
Using a void key and a
And then
portable
every 50
torsion beam
seconds,
device to force open the portal. Destroy the
we
key
stand.
and the device.
And we net, and we stand. And what's going to happen is, if I had, I'm gonna actually just aggro a couple infested here, just so I can show. Come on, guys, see me, see me. This is why you can't use these starting rooms, because things don't like to spawn in these starting rooms. So that's why I usually say just keep moving. But you can find this room, this particular back room here. It attaches to several spots where you can find these little Oracle tunnels. If you can find it attached to this sewer room like this, but not a spawn tile, it's the best. Usually you want it attached to a big room so that you have good spawns. But you just net here, and what the net's going to do is it's going to deal a little bit of damage over time to everything. So everything's going to die. With infested, as long as they can see you, they're being damaged, they will continue to call in reinforcements. So you can't do this on a Grenier or Corpus tile because you just run out of spawns. But because infestants will respawn, you can just do this here. Basically all you do is sit here, and so, and then in about 5 to 9 minutes, the Acolyte is going to trigger to spawn. So the spawn for the Acolyte is actually based off of both the timer and the fact things die. That's why you can't do this with a stealth frame, because if you're not killing things, then you can literally go an hour without getting an Acolyte spawn, because you just haven't killed anything and you haven't satisfied that part of its trigger. But because we're not doing a stealth frame, we don't have that issue. There's two other things, so a few other things rather. If if you notice it's been about 8 minutes, 7-8 minutes since you've had an acolyte, you can kill. You only have to kill one thing. You don't even have to kill a whole bunch of things. Just kill one thing. If the acolyte is already queued up to spawn, as soon as you kill, it'll spawn. And then basically, as soon as he starts to spawn, make sure your net's still got plenty of duration left so you don't get interrupted. And you just come right up here, and the acolyte is going to spawn right here every single time. So I don't run fetch. You could run fetch if you really wanted to. You just have to be a little bit more careful. See, the problem is when you net here, you can get leeches who sit in the net here. So you have to be up to about right here, so that the leeches don't sap your energy, which puts you in fetch range of the SE pack, which will drop up to like this point. It'll never drop on the stairs, but sometimes it'll drop up here. And even sometimes it'll drop up on this ledge. But usually it stays in this little spot here. So, if you want to run fetch, you either have to like kind of hide in these corners, or just like run a rank 1 fetch or something, so it's only like 8 meters range. I see I got a buff going on, but yeah, so we're gonna... might see if I can actually spawn one acolyte in for you guys, but basically all we're just gonna do is we're gonna come up here and we're gonna use ensnare to lock the acolyte down as soon as he spawns. We just come up here and we look. So what I do is I look for this crack here, this little piece. Go from there, and then I come up to about here, and that's where I put my cursor. And then as soon as the video message starts to play, I start rapidly mashing 2. And then as soon as he spawns, he gets stun locked. And then, you know, toss the glaive at him, heavy attack, slash proc, kill him, and move on with your day. But yeah, this is super simple. You just net here. The net does everything. You also have to wait 15. If you go without killing something for 15 minutes, you get kicked from the game. Alright, there we go. We got the acolyte spawn. We got plenty of net time, so we jump up here. Position our cursor. And dash him 2. Boom, he's stunned. He will take my shield down, and then I just throw this glaive at him, and slash proc is going to kill him. We just come back down here. We continue on netting. I usually like to... You're gonna need energy pads too, because you're not running Pilfering Strangle Dome or anything like that. So yeah, you will need the energy pads to keep up your energy, but it's like a couple. Well, I use quite a few a run, but I mean, they're not really that expensive. You can use mediums just fine. And yeah, just sit here and it works great. Just come up here. I've done this farm for 6 hours, so it's just fine. And once you're finished, you know, oh, I got a buff. Pick it up. Just take my 8 here. I guess I'll take the 8. I'm in here anyways. And then go to the... Oh, there's one thing. Oh yeah. So this is the other room where it connects to. This is kind of like the common room. This is the one I usually use. It's just so easy to find. Same room here. So same thing here. If you do want a Spectre, I'm just going to use a shield drone because I don't want to waste a good Spectre. But just throw it down right here. And as soon as it spawns, put it on hold. So if this was a Nidus, occasionally, depending on where this room is in the adjacent tiles, I can't figure out the exact rules for it, but occasionally things will spawn up here when you're standing like right here, and more so if you're standing over in this corner. So if you get a Nidus Spectre with like a Rubico or something, and you just plop them down here, can't shoot at the net, which would be bad because you don't want him to kill things. But then anything that spawns up here will like insta die and insta aggro to the Nidus Spectre, and because Sab does not increase the level of enemies, that Nidus Spectre will never die, and it'll always kill those things with, and they'll never accidentally like gas you out while you're just standing AFK between nets. Yeah, that's all it is. Once you've done all that, just head on to the objective, and we're getting another acolyte. Was that an acolyte? Guess not. Yeah, we'll just head to the objective. This is also a good connector. Get them in here. Okay, these ones are blocked off. Okay, have the room here, and this also works. Say anywhere you can find that room will work, besides the tile you spawn in. And other.
I am no longer
caches.
detecting signs of a juggernaut. Move on. You are safe.
And in the event that you like run out of enemies in your net, all you have to do is just run out of the room, go find some infested, make sure they see you and they are aware and attacking of you, at you, whatever, and then you can head back to your room and they'll follow you back into the net and spawn more things and you'll be good. That's usually you only need to do that if you happen to have a generation that has like no good spawnable room around it.
The portal only allows travel in
This is
one
pretty
direction.
chill.
Start up the portal generators to
Net
reverse the
here
polarity.
and here, and then trigger this. And this would be pretty chill. Say, very, very easy to do. I've never died at the objective part of this, so I usually just leave it till the end. You could do it first if you really wanted to. I just find that if I do it first, then I run into the risk of having an acolyte spawn before I've gotten to the room, and then I end up with like one SE just sitting out in a weird spot where I pick it up for no buffs, and yeah, just not ideal. Trigger that.
Let's go.
Yeah, so this is the strat. Definitely don't want to use a stealth frame. I think that was an acolyte spawn. Acolytes won't spawn in that room, that's why I came out here. And if you happen to have one spawn while you're doing the objective, I usually just kill it. I don't know why I thought I didn't want to die. I usually just kill it. I go do the objective just in case I get a buff on it.
There's the torsion beam device, but they've taken the void key.
Super easy. I mean, the defending is the hard part, and you've seen how easy that was. Let's go. Again, because things do not scale in Sabotage, this is pretty freaking chill. And we'll just stun lock with ensnare, and that usually rings both of the sisters together.
What have you done to her?
One tick slash problem.
Quick, pick up the key.
Key.
You got the key. Now back to the portal.
And head the frick out of here. Alright, doesn't look like we're gonna get any buff. Fine.
The device is set on overdrive. Get through the portal before it melts down.
And we will get on out, and yeah, that's the whole strat. It's super easy. Of course, you know, you don't pick up on a single buff, you wait until you have 2 buffs. And usually the way I track that is I just watch the upper right hand corner of my screen. As soon as I see a single buff come on, I just watch that number, and then as soon as I see it refresh to the 156
Objective complete.
seconds, I think is
The
the total.
void key and torsion beam
Take note of
device
what
are
it
out
was
of
at
commission.
before, so
The
if it had
enemy
80
will not
seconds,
be returning
then
anytime soon.
It's 156
Tenno,
seconds,
there
so
are
I know I
still
can go to
undiscovered
about 70 seconds on
caches
the
in
new
the area.
countdown.
You may
They
want to locate them
fought
before
well.
leaving.
Good dance.
Triple buffs are
on.
statistically pretty unlikely, so usually you won't get those, but double buffs within a 2-hour run, you have an 88% chance to get it, so usually if you do a 2-3 hour run, you're always going to get a double buff. So, and that gives you 16 SC per pickup, which can net you quite a bit. And so like one of the advantages here to doing it versus, I know Bossman released a Sab video where he's using Ivera, and the problem is when you're using Ivera, you either have to kill things constantly, which then you run into the spawning system issue, or you have to, like, things not spawning anymore because you're killing things too quick, which is an issue. That's why in this build I have no extra strength, as well as I don't let the Spectre get into range, and I don't run any damage on the cats or anything. You just want things to slowly die. Ideally what you want is something to die every 30 seconds to a minute. Anything more than that, you're overkilling. But with the Advara system, you can just play a stealth frame and just kind of chill. The problem is you have to like tab in, kill something every 9 minutes, and that means your Akko spawns are only going to be every 9 minutes. Whereas this, because we're killing things consistently, if our Akko timer trips at 5 minutes, and we kill something at 5 minutes 30 seconds, the Akko spawn will spawn at 5 minutes 30. Whereas if we do it with Ivera and we don't kill anything until the total tick has either elapsed, so we wait 9 minutes, we kill something, we'll only get an Acolyte every 9 minutes, whereas doing it with this Cora cage, we can get an Acolyte. My average is around every 7 to 7.5 minutes, which is on par for like Cora Survival Draco, or whatever you want to do. So this just increases your Acolyte per hour. That's going to increase your SE per hour. You're not going to quite get 200 SE per hour like the theoretical max is. Usually get around 170 to 180 SE per hour. But unlike Draco or any of the survival maps you can do it on, survival maps will get you a better SC per hour rate, but you'll have to like actually play the game, where this you're just pressing 4 and fucking rolling. So pretty chill. But yeah, that's basically the strat, and I mean, probably not like, I got 1.5 mil. I've done plenty of this farm. I know it works good. The reason I'm sharing now is because Bossman's already blown the lid on Sabotage, even if he's doing it in a considerably more inefficient way. But so yeah, that's the strat.